You're 7 years old when you score your first real goal, not in the backyard against your little sister, not in PE class where everyone gets a turn. This is different. This is in front of parents who actually care on a field with real lines, with a referee who blows a whistle when you celebrate. The ball rolls into the net like it was always meant to be there, and suddenly everyone's looking at you different. Your coach calls it natural instinct. Your dad calls it killer instinct. Your mom just calls it beautiful. But you don't know any of that yet? You just know you love that feeling, that split second when the goalkeeper dives the wrong way and you realize you've beaten them. You live for that moment. The field becomes your stage, the goal becomes your target, and you're already addicted to being the hero. You're too young to know what pressure feels like, but it's already building. Every game, every practice, every conversation somehow leads back to goals. How many did you score? Could you have scored more? Why didn't you score that one? They don't tell you that every miss will replay in your head for hours. They don't tell you that every celebration will feel hollow if you don't score in the next game. They just tell you to keep shooting, keep believing, keep being the player everyone expects you to be. By middle school, you're carrying the weight of every game. You've got private trainers, speed coaches, and more video analysis than most college programs. You break down your first touch like it's a science experiment, your runs are off by a yard. Fix it, your finishing is inconsistent, stay after practice. Your head's not in the game? No excuses. You're 12 years old and being taught to think like a predator, to see every defender as prey, every goalkeeper as just another obstacle to overcome. You stop playing pickup games because they're not competitive enough. You skip family dinners for extra training sessions. You're not being pushed anymore, you're pushing yourself. Because deep down you already believe that scoring goals is the only thing that matters. And it's not just belief, it's terror. The terror that if you stop scoring, stop improving, even for a week, someone else will take your spot, someone else will steal your dream while you're off being a normal kid. High school comes with expectations you never asked for. You're the go-to guy before you even kick a ball. Varsity as a freshman, local newspaper headlines, college recruiters following your every move. They call you clinical. They compare you to players with million-dollar contracts. Suddenly, everything you do is being measured. Every shot, every touch, every celebration. You score 25 goals your sophomore year, and your teammates start looking at you like you're not one of them anymore. Parents whisper in the stands. Other coaches accuse your team of building everything around you. You laugh, but it eats at you. Your identity fuses with your goal tally. When you're scoring, you feel unstoppable. When you're not, you feel like a fraud. You score a hat trick in front of 8 college scouts and go home convinced you should have had 4. The bar keeps moving higher. It never stops. Then you hit your first real drought. 5 games without a goal. Your coach tells you to relax. Your teammates tell you it happens to everyone, but you can feel them starting to doubt. You can see it in their eyes when you miss a sitter. You can hear it in their voices when they don't pass you the ball in the box. You lie awake at night replaying every chance, every near miss, every moment when you should have done better. You start pressing. You start forcing shots from impossible angles. You start believing that maybe you're not as good as everyone thought. Maybe you never were. College offers still come in. A drought didn't scare everyone off. You're a project now, but one worth investing in. You commit to a D1 school with a championship history and a coach who sent strikers to the pros. You show up freshman fall feeling more pressure than you've ever felt in your life. Everyone here was a star. Everyone here scored goals for fun. You're not special anymore. You're part of a system now. They change your position, adjust your runs, tweak your mindset. They tell you to trust the process, but no one explains what happens when the process breaks you down instead of building you up. You score 3 goals your freshman year, total. You question if you belong here at all. You lie in bed wondering what happens if this dream dies. What happens if you're not a striker anymore? Who are you if you can't score? You work harder. You get better. Sophomore year you break out. You lead the team in goals. You score the winner in the conference championship. For a brief moment, you're back. You're dangerous. You're exactly what everyone said you could be. The scouts return. Your name resurfaces on draft boards. You score in the College Cup semifinals and feel like you're flying. But it doesn't last. It never does. Your knee starts acting up, you push through, you lie to the trainer, you tell yourself it's fine, you're playing for your future after all. You can't sit now, not when the dream is this close. You miss 3 straight games with a torn meniscus. Your replacement scores 4 goals. The scouts move on. You get drafted in the 3rd round. The signing bonus won't change your life, but you take it because time is the only thing that matters now. You think the hard part is over? It's not, it's just beginning. The minor leagues aren't a stepping stone, they're quicksand. You live in apartments with 3 other guys who all think they're going to make it. You play in front of crowds that barely fill a high school gymnasium. You score against semi-professional defenders while some 19-year-old with pace burns past you like you're standing still. You realize quickly it's not the most talented who make it, it's the most adaptable. The ones who can score ugly goals, who can play multiple positions, who can survive on 2 hours of sleep and gas station coffee. You bounce between leagues. You score goals in empty stadiums. You miss weddings, miss birthdays, miss the chance to build a normal life. Meanwhile, your friends get real jobs, buy houses, start families. You're trying not to pull your hamstring getting out of bed before a noon kickoff. You don't talk about that part on social media. Then finally it happens. Someone gets injured. Someone else loses form. A spot opens. The call comes. You're going to the first team. You cry on the phone with your parents. You post the news on Instagram. You tell yourself it was all worth it. The professional level feels like another planet. Private facilities, custom boots, your name on the back of a jersey that actually matters. You've made it, sort of. You're a rookie. You don't talk unless spoken to. You don't take the best parking spot. You don't show up late, ever. You make your debut and your legs shake so bad you nearly miss your first touch. But you stay composed. You track back. You press their defenders. You do your job. Just like that, you're a professional footballer. You think that's the end of the story. It's not. It's just the beginning of a different kind of hell. Now you're fighting to stay. 1 bad month and you're benched. 1 bad season and you're forgotten. You score a crucial goal and no one remembers it a week later. You miss a penalty and the internet knows your name for all the wrong reasons. You start seeing your face on Twitter under words like wasteful, overrated, finished. You stop reading comments, then you start reading them again, then you stop again. You tell people it doesn't bother you, it bothers you. You get hurt? Of course you do. Not a career-ending injury, just enough to shut you down for 3 months. The team brings in a replacement. You watch from the sidelines as they score the goals you should be scoring. You question whether you'll ever get back. You get back. You're not the same. You reinvent yourself. You learn to play deeper. You become a creator instead of just a finisher. They stop calling you clinical. They start calling you veteran. You play with pain every single day. Some days it's your knee. Some days it's your back. Some days it's your soul. You play anyway. Years go by. You become the experienced head. You watch teammates come and go. You stop remembering all their names. You sign short-term deals with teams that need leadership up front. You know what that really means? It means they don't expect you to score 20 goals. Just keep the young guys from crumbling under pressure. You score some, you miss more. You get released, you get called back. You go 6 weeks without starting, then you get thrown into a cup final. You miss the penalty that would have won it. You sit in the dressing room while the crowd cheers someone else's victory. Off-season comes. You train like you're 25, you're 34, you sign a trial contract. You say it's just a chance to prove you've still got it. Deep down, you know it's your last shot. Preseason, you score well. Not great, well enough to make the squad. Barely, you play in low-pressure games. You do your job. You ice your knee every night and pray it holds. You don't tell anyone you haven't felt truly fast in years. Then one day, it's over. No announcement, no farewell match. You just don't get re-signed. No team calls, not even your agent. You wait a few weeks, you start kicking a ball around in your backyard. It doesn't feel the same. You stop, you become a coach. You train kids with quick feet and limitless dreams. You tell them to enjoy the journey. You don't tell them how lonely it gets. You don't tell them how many chances you missed, how many times you cried in the shower, How many days you woke up hoping you were someone else? You just smile. You say, great finish. You say, keep going. You still dream about it sometimes. The roar of the crowd, the sound of the net, the silence before a penalty, the moment when the world stops and waits for you to decide how it ends. You wake up reaching for boots that aren't there anymore. That's why it sucks to be a striker, because it takes everything. Your body, your mind, your time, your relationships, your sense of peace. It gives you just enough to believe, just enough to chase, and then it dares you to survive. And if you're lucky enough, strong enough, stupid enough to make it, it asks for more. But you gave it, you always gave it. And if you had to do it all again, you would.